I think we've waited long enough for this announcement, for this release, for this launch. Maybelline Vinyl Inks have come in nude shades. They have expanded to nude shades. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So if you're looking for the best and most honest how-tos and reviews from a consumer's perspective, make sure you subscribe to my channel, you like this video, and leave any comments that you have for me down below. I am so incredibly excited to announce that Maybelline has come out with 10 new nude shades of their Vinyl Ink liquid lipsticks. Maybelline came out with these new formulations of lipsticks back in March of this year. They are the Vinyl Inks, like I mentioned, so they are a long-lasting pigmented lipstick and a lip gloss because they give you that shine in one tube. So very popular type of formulation nowadays, and this was their version of that. And while they did have some pretty good shades in it, they didn't have a ton of nudes in there. So I'm so excited that the next collection they came out with, shade-wise, was the nude collection. So what we're going to do today is swatch all of them, see what they look like on me specifically. I do categorize myself in light medium / medium skin tone, just depending on the season, depending on the time of year. If you want to get more in-depth information about this formulation, go watch my original video with the original collection. Now, you guys did go in on me on the original video on how I applied them. I had the tendency to apply it and then put my lips together, like smack my lips together and then finish applying it, and you were saying that it was getting rid of that shine. Okay, I heard you guys, I get it, but I still don't think that they're like super extremely shiny. They are shiny, they look like you have a lip gloss on top, I will say that, but they're not like juicy, dripping, wet lips. All that to say, I have fixed the way that I apply these. So hopefully in this video, you guys do find it helpful. And to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, I'm not going to go too in depth on these, but these I bought at Ulta. They're $12.99 a piece. There are 10 shades and it's supposed to give you 16-hour long wear. For me, I do find that these are very long wear. They are transfer resistant. I have a little bit of transfer here on my straw, but I've been using this all day and I've had this lip color on for about 4 hours now, and that's as much transfer as I've had. I did kiss my husband earlier and he's always very hesitant to give me a kiss when I have lip product on, but I convinced him and he was like, oh yeah, it didn't transfer. I mean, the feeling of the gloss does transfer, but the color does not. It says up to 16-hour wear. I think it's very dependent on the situation, the environment, yourself, you know. I'm going to be swatching all 10 of them for you today. I do have my tried and true Neutrogena eye makeup remover to remove this with some cottons right here from Shiseido. Someone told me that I should stop wiping the lip colors off with paper towel because it's like damaging to the lips, and thank you for that pointer, by the way. I never actually thought about it. So I picked up some of these cottons and they are 10 times better. What I have on right now is the shade 120 Punchy. This is what I started the video off on, and this was the color that I gravitated towards the most. I have been really enjoying these types of nudes on myself, and I think that it's very flattering. Speaking a little bit on the way that these feel on the lips, you do feel like you're wearing a liquid lipstick, and it does feel a little bit more moisturizing, definitely not drying like a matte lipstick, obviously, because you do have that gloss finish on top. And the gloss can kind of fade after a while, but the pigmentation pretty much stays on the lips, which is very impressive. Now, it does feel a little sticky if you put your lips together like that. It honestly just feels like a stickier lip gloss. So, I mean, it's not bad, and I haven't had any sort of feathering. It's not sinking into my lip lines within my lips, and that is a big thing for me. If a lipstick does that, it is out the door. I'm not interested. But these actually do very well with not doing that for me. And I will say the color of the actual lipstick versus the color of the packaging doesn't 100% match up in my opinion, but it's not too far off. So yes, so this is the shade 120 Punchy. I really enjoy this one so far. And I'll just show you guys how I remove this. So I just take my Neutrogena eye makeup remover on this cotton pad, and you want to make sure that you shake this up before you use it. And then literally I'm just going to take this, kind of dab it on my lips, and then swipe it clean. I know a lot of you guys have had a lot of trouble getting these off. It definitely won't come off with a regular cleanser though. You have to use something oil-based or something meant to take off very stubborn, like waterproof makeup. Now, when you apply these, you do want to make sure that you shake it up because you want that glossy finish and the pigment to kind of mix within the tube so you get a good even coverage. So this is the shade number 95 Captivated, and I'm going to keep all of the color on the tube. I'm not going to wipe any excess off because I find that I like to use everything that comes on the applicator. I'm just going to apply this. Now, I actually want a little bit more coverage, so I'm going to go in, making sure my lips have time to dry before I put them together. Definitely a much lighter color on me. I would say this gives me that concealer lip effect, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, people would like just cover their lips in concealer. This is what this lipstick is giving me. I'm sure that if you are a lighter skin tone than I am, this would be more of a nude color on you. Definitely wouldn't look as stark or as harsh on you. I will say if you plan on wearing a lip liner with this formulation, you may need to use the lip liner on top as well as underneath it. They do really cover the color of your lips, so I'm not quite sure how it'll play with a lip liner underneath, so you may have to put it on top. For me, this shade is a pass, but this is what it looks like on my skin tone. And here's the shade Captivated on my hand. It does look darker in my opinion on the back of my hand than on my lips. Next is the shade number 100 Charmed. Here's that shade on the back of my hand. And let's go ahead and apply this. I'm gonna go in for another dip. This one is definitely going to be a little bit more peachy pink on, at least for me. Again, I don't think it completely matches the color of the tube on the lips, but then again, I do have a little bit of pigmentation on my natural lips, so keep that in mind. But this is what it's looking like on me. I like this. I think that it would be wearable with a lip liner. I wouldn't wear this alone the same way that I would wear that first color alone. Next up, we have the shade 105 Golden. There you go. That one's definitely a peach. Look at that. I do find I get the best coverage when I add like a second layer. Okay, and here is the shade Golden. Definitely think that this one is going to be that peachy nude in the bunch. I do find that it's not as pigmented in some areas, like on the outer parts of my lips where I was applying the lipstick. You can kind of see my lip shade coming through. I hope you can see it in the close-ups here. But I think if you put on a layer, let it dry, and then go in with another layer, it would be pretty much opaque. So let's go ahead and do that. I find that this actually layers on top of itself really well. It doesn't get all crepey, it doesn't go into the lines. You can definitely see on this outer corner right here, as well as on my bottom lip on the same side, that there is a little bit of difference in pigmentation. It's not super opaque and even. So this shade for me is not going to be as even in color. Next up, we have the shade number 110 Awestruck. Ooh, so this is like that mauve shade right there, purpley mauve. This definitely looks lighter on my lips than it does on the back of my hand. You see that? I find applying it with my lips like stretched like this and letting it dry works the best for me. And here is the shade number 110 Awestruck. Surprisingly, I really like this shade. I'm not usually a huge fan of the mauve shades on me. I feel like they're too purpley gray sometimes, but this one I could see myself wearing. I think it goes really well with my eye look today, actually. It's definitely a cooler tone because it is that mauve there, but it looks really nice. I could see this looking really beautiful on a range of different skin tones. Let's do a second layer and see what that looks like, just to play around with it. Pretty. It looks even better when it's like really shiny. Next we have the shade 115 Peppy. Ooh, pretty. Oh yeah, look at that shade. I like this one a lot, actually. This looks really pretty. I feel like this just kind of darkens my natural lip shade and it just makes it look even more put together. I like this one a lot. This is very pretty. And this is actually quite a light layer. I did a light first layer, so it's not as shiny. And I actually did quite a light first layer. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more because I feel like I want to intensify that color. Pretty. I really like that one. And as you can see, the shade on my lips looks a little bit more pink than what I think the tube looks like. The tube looks a little bit more red, while this is a little bit more pink. Next up, we have the shade 125 Keen. So here's what that one looks like. This one, in my opinion, is like a burnt red shade, like a burnt orange red shade. Here is the shade 125 Keen. I do think the swatches on the back of my hand look pretty different from the actual application on my lips. What do you guys think? All right, now let's go in with the shade 130 Extra. All right, there is the shade 130 Extra. This shade for me is the type of shade that I like to wear if I want something a little bit more like bold on the lips. Usually I'll go for something quite muted, like a pinky brown or something like that, you know. If I just want to wear a fun lip color, I would go for something that has this reddish orange, like darker reddish orange shade, and gives me a little bit of something. It's not quite like a bold red lip, but it is going to give you that same red lip vibe, if you know what I mean. We have two colors left, and second to last we have 135 Fearless. This is Fearless. Ooh, look at that chocolatey brown. That's so pretty. Okay, and here is the shade Fearless. This is such a beautiful, true chocolate brown. I don't think it pulls too red. I don't think it pulls too purple. If you have a darker skin tone, I think that this is going to be so beautiful on you. For me personally, this one looks more like a vampy lip shade. Not something I would typically go for all the time, but if it's like a night out or something, I could see myself wearing this, especially during the fall and winter time. I just feel like it's giving me those vibes. And I did use 2 coats on this one because just like that lighter shade that was a little bit patchy, it was a little bit patchy on the inside, but once I did a second coat, it looked really good and it looks very opaque. All right, and the last shade we have is 140 Charged. Ooh, that is dark. That is a dark, dark brown. And let's apply this. And you can see here, this is the first layer. It is a little bit patchy. I just wanted to show you guys, I am going to finish it off with a second layer. It's not uncommon for dark shades like this on me to be a little patchy at first, and I really have to like work with the shade to get it super opaque. I think that's kind of the nature of these lipsticks on my lip tone. And this is the shade number 140 Charged. Definitely a very dark vampy lip shade on me personally. If you do have a darker skin tone, I think that this would be really beautiful on you, especially this formulation. Once I did that second layer of application, I found that I was able to make it pretty opaque. Now, one layer definitely is very patchy though. Alright guys, those are all of the shades. I put 120 Punchy back on just to finish the video out because this is the lip color that I had on at the beginning. Let me know which ones were your favorites, which ones really spoke to you, and ones that you might think of picking up yourself. I will list right here in the video right now my ranking of my most favorite to my least favorite. I really have a good feeling about these shades. There were a lot of very nice wearable shades for me. I don't typically go for very, very bold colors or anything too bright or anything too dark. I like to stay in my little bubble of nude lip shades, to be honest, and these are giving me those vibes, and I really love that. I felt like the original collection were a lot of fun colors, a lot of like good pops of color, and a couple of nudes, but not something that I would reach for every single day, you know? And to give you just an overall idea, I do like this formulation. Out of all of the long wearing liquid lipsticks that are shiny, this by far is one of my favorites. I think that they're so wearable and comfortable, and especially now that they've expanded that line, I really like these new shades. So I think that everyone could find a color that they would like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or you found it helpful. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!